On the news at 1, Sultan of Sokoto declares commencement of Dhul Hijjah. Minister of Women Affairs advocates implementation of Child Rights Act in all states. An FCT Emergency Management Department holds flood sensitization campaign. Hello there, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on the news desk of NTA Channel 5 Abuja at 1. I am Tessie Omeri with the details. We begin on religious notes. The Sultan of Sokoto and President General of the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, has declared Wednesday, 28 May 2025 as the first day of Dhul Hijjah 1446 after Hijrah. This declaration follows credible reports received by the Sultanate Council Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs in collaboration with the National Moon Sighting Committees, confirming the sighting of the new crescent on Tuesday, 27 May 2025. In a statement endorsed by Professor Sambowali Junaidu, Chairman of the Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council Sokoto, it was announced that His Eminence, the Sultan, upon careful consideration of the authenticated reports, approved Wednesday as the beginning of the sacred month. Dhul Hijjah, the last month in the Islamic calendar, holds immense significance for Muslims worldwide as it marks the period of Hajj and Eid al-Adha celebrations. The Sultanate Council extends its heartfelt prayers for peace, unity, and blessings as the month of devotion and sacrifice commences. Minister of Women Affairs Iman Suleiman Ibrahim has emphasized on the importance of safeguarding children's rights and welfare during the 2025 Children's Day celebration in Abuja. She highlighted the need for collective action to protect the Nigerian child from bullying, referencing the Child Rights Act and the national policy on safety, security, and violence-free schools. Hawa Gimba reports that the minister commended the Federal Ministry of Education for launching anti-bullying guidelines and urged strict enforcement.
The 2025 Children's Day celebration in Abuja emphasized the importance of protecting children from bullying and promoting their rights. Minister of Women Affairs Iman Suleiman Ibrahim called for collective action to prevent bullying, highlighting its impact on children's well-being. She also emphasized government's commitment to advancing children's rights, including domesticating the Child Rights Act across all 36 states and the FCT.
We're also developing the institutional framework for a National Child Protection Development Agency, which is strategic action aligned with the ministry's 5-year strategic roadmap.
Minister of State, FCT, Maria Mahmood, addressed the children, encouraging them to see themselves as future leaders and to stay dedicated, avoid bullying, and report any incidents to authorities.
I want you to know that you are the joy of our heart. You are life filled with adventure, love, and laughter.
Today, in this celebration, we are celebrating not just the children, but the hope of a generation.
Victory Maduka, a visually impaired advocate, passionately appeals to Nigerian children to stop bullying, but rather promote a culture of kindness and respect.
Bullying hurts, but when we stand up and speak up, we help stop it.
The celebration featured children from various schools in the FCT participating in March Past and expressing appreciation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in different languages, including Bagi. The event highlights the importance of creating a safe and supportive environment for Nigerian children to thrive. Hawa Gimba, NTA News.
Still talking about future leaders. As the world commemorates the 2025 Children's Day, a non-governmental organization, Caleb Danladi Foundation, CDF, has called for concerted efforts in addressing the challenges bedeviling the development and the rights of children in the society. The founder, CDF Captain Caleb Danladi Baku, who made the call in a statement, lamented that many children are faced with significant challenges, including lack of access to quality education, poverty, and limited opportunities for personal growth. Captain Caleb Danladi, who reaffirmed the commitment of the foundation to promoting the welfare and development of children in Kaduna State, said the theme for this year's Children's Day, Our Future, Our Responsibility, resonates deeply with the mission of the foundation to provide support and opportunity for children to thrive, while felicitating with the Nigerian children for marking the day. Captain Caleb urged them to pursue excellence in all they do and shun negative tendencies that could ruin their future. Meanwhile, the federal government has been urged to give education sector priority, especially at the primary school level. This came to the fore as AMAC Broadcasting Service held its maiden edition of Spelling Bee competition. Serafina Okonumekwe reports that this was to mark the global celebration of Children's Day.
One of its corporate social responsibilities of bridging the gap and connecting people, the AMAC Broadcasting Service thought it wise to celebrate children by engaging them in series of competition.
Is to sharpen their skills, to give them an enabling environment, to be able to rediscover themselves, to bring out the best from them, and then to also, challenge themselves about the things that they've been learning in school, to see how best they can make use of it.
With the rules reeled out by the panel of judges of ensuring the pupils engage, the rule of PSP pronounce, spell, pronounce, the organizers say aims to allow the children not to only socialize but tap potentials from different schools.
Initially, the program was organized for pupils in public primary schools, but because of the ongoing strike, we had to bring in the private school. The essence is to bring these children together.
As champions emerged, stakeholders in the education sector used the medium to appeal to the federal government to look into the welfare of teachers, especially local education authority (LEA), by ensuring salary harmonization and increased budgetary allocation in the sector.
We have UBEF staff that are working with us in the primary school. A UBEF staff will be any more than the same person in primary school of the same grade level. Correct. The other civil servants, they have been captured through IPPS. But earlier they didn't capture through IPPS. How will our salary comes through the federal government? It is their duty of the federal government to send a committee to primary school level as a foundation to find out what is happening. So the priority should be given much to the foundations.
Though government is trying, but the trying is not enough. Considering the population, considering even the schools, the public schools that we are having, government needs to ensure that they have good structures, good places of learning.
The participating schools were appreciative to the staff and management of AMAC Broadcasting Radio for the gesture of celebrating the Children's Day and at the same time engaging them in academic discourse. In Abuja, Serafina Okon-Umekwe, NTA News.
And from education, let's take a look at the environment. The federal government has projected that 33 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, will experience varying degrees of flooding in 2025 in response to the findings of the 2025 Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency (NISAP) report. The FCT Emergency Management Department, FEMD, in collaboration with key stakeholders, have launched an aggressive sensitization campaign to promote disaster risk reduction and emergency preparedness. Kama has details.
The focus warns of significant flooding threats between April and September, with urban flash floods expected in major cities. Experts attribute the growing flood risk to factors such as heavy rainfall, poor drainage systems, and indiscriminate construction on waterways. These concerns have prompted NEMA to convene a strategic meeting under the banner FCT NEMA Disaster Preparedness and Response Awareness Stakeholders Meeting. The initiative aims to reduce the risks of flooding, droughts, epidemics, and other disasters in vulnerable communities. During a field inspection of flood-prone areas, including a site behind Cedar Crest Hospital in Abo districts, NEMA officials observed ongoing fencing construction obstructing natural water pathways.
Here is a prone area, and every year there used to be flood in all this area. You can see what is going on here now. People are already, what we say they should not do is what they are doing here. People are already building, they are already making sure that they even constrain the waterway again. So this thing is good. I think nobody will give them this land to build, and already they are building this fence. So these are what we are saying. There's going to be heavy flood this year. All these places will be flooded. So we don't want loss of life. And that is why we come here to come and see for ourselves.
Specifically what we're doing now is together with our stakeholders here present to see how we can sensitize ourselves, sensitize the residents of these communities that have been predicted by NASA and NIMET that they will be affected by this flood in 2025.
FCT NEMA stressed the devastating impact of flooding, calling for urgent collaboration among stakeholders, residents, and emergency agencies to implement timely and effective precautionary measures. Kama.
The book placement project of the second edition of T.Y. Buratai Literary Initiative has commenced nationwide. Chairman of the T.Y. Buratai Literary Initiative, Dr. Lizzie Ben Iheanacho, during the book placement in the geopolitical zone, says the program is gaining more acceptance with promoting reading, learning, and creative abilities of young Nigerians. Abdullahi Adia brings us details.
After what was adjudged to be a huge success in the first edition of the T.Y. Buratai Literary Initiative for Young Adult Prize, the book placements for the second edition signals the takeoff of the competition, where winners are expected to emerge from reading challenge of 40 different books of writers and genres. Placed in the box, Chairman of the T.Y. Buratai Literary Initiative, Dr. Lizzie Benson Iheanacho, led other team members to the School of the Gifted Gwagwalada, an Air Force-based school in Abuja, for the book placements.
We go around schools and we place a book box. In each book box, we strive to place at least 40 different books authored by different writers and different genres. We just want to introduce the young adult reader to as many genres of literature as is possible so that they will find themselves, find the genre that appeals to them, find the one that speaks most to their growing up challenge.
Earlier, the team was in Kaduna, where Giro International School and Government Secondary School Ongwansarki played host to two different placements, as the same purpose of encouraging and exposing many readers and writers to inspiring books was emphasized.
Not speak English in the past because the school is English zone only. We are proud to say that we have students that even the parents have testified that their literary works have improved.
This will enhance, even for now, as we can see the children are eager to read what they brought to us.
I think that the T.Y. Buratai Literary Initiative have done a good job by bringing this book box to our school, because from my own point of view, I'm thinking that reading this type of books is not only for humanities students or art students. I think that even science students can read this type of book.
My thoughts on the book box. Truly, I think it's a very compassionate, very sweet thing to do, especially since I find it very interesting. In our scheme, we talked about how reading is actually dying out in Nigerian youth and the pros and cons, the disadvantages and advantages of reading. And I find it very coincidental that they just happen to bring a book box.
Nasarawa State University Kefi also hosted the team and the book placement, as winners are expected from the zones for the national prize later in the year. The objective focus of the T.Y. Buratai Literary Initiative remains reading advocacy, promoting literacy, nurturing creativity, and building a reading culture among Nigerians. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
Now, one of the fundamental human rights of Nigerians is freedom of expression. To this end, the leadership of the NUJ NTA Channel 5 Chapel took its sensitization campaign on freedom of information to the students and management of government science and technical school Gariki, with the aim of teaching the students the essentials of speaking up, as it will foster growth and community involvement, as well as social change. Serafina Okonomekwe gives us details.
You enjoy your freedom more when you are being more disciplined and obedient.
Attacks and arrests, censorship, safety concerns, legislative challenges, and outdated laws remain a challenge to absolute press freedom in Nigeria.
So just like we hold government accountable, we should also within our ranks hold ourselves accountable, and that says that press freedom comes with a whole lot of responsibility. So we are not yet there, and I believe that there's a whole lot of work to do.
The general manager of NTA Channel 5, Mr. Paul Ati, while interacting with the children, noted that press freedom is essential for democracy and promotion of human rights, thus leading to societal change. For the staff and students of the school, they were full of appreciation for the sensitization visit.
This sensitization is going to help us to be more aware of what's happening in our country and to help us to be able to know our rights.
So because of that freedom, we should not misuse the freedom to be able to speak.
Educating the student on how to talk freely, whatever is in their mind. Talking freely means that you have to tell the truth about what you have seen.
Special day like this, we are here first of all in our school to sensitize us on the press day. We are creating awareness for the children to know their rights, their privileges in the society.
Chairperson of the chapel, Deborah Michael, noted that the advocacy was apt in bridging the gap for information management and dissemination, especially with the advent of artificial intelligence in journalistic practices in Nigeria.
We are commemorating the World Press Freedom Day, and we have decided to take awareness on the freedom of press to schools.
High point of the event was a symbolic presentation of writing materials to the students. The 2025 theme of World Press Freedom Day focuses attention on reporting in the brave world, the impact of artificial intelligence on press freedom and the media. Serafina Okon, Omekwe, NTA News.
Good evening, glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
I will celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
The
Unity Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja.
Would say have a lovely day.
Many thanks for staying tuned. The alarming increase in building collapses in Nigeria, professionals in the building environment identify as unacceptable and a concern that should be immediately addressed through effective engineering administration and a thorough professional checks and balances. This was the position of engineers during the 5th Engineer Umar Gambo Jibrin Distinguished Annual Public Lecture in Abuja, organized by Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers. Abdullahi Ajia has more.
Engineer Jibrin, I so much recognize that effort you have made.
With a gathering of the think tank of the Nigerian engineering profession, supporting one of their own, the 5th Engineer Umar Gambo Jibrin Distinguished Annual Public Lecture, just like previous editions, is stirring another national discourse, this time looking at effective engineering administration as a panacea for building an infrastructure collapse. Both keynote and guest speakers in a thought-provoking pieces highlighted the disturbing development. In their suggestions as solutions, they said, insistence on code of ethics and standards across the building value chain, continuous training and capacity improvement, stringent regulations, among other best practices, should be institutionalized and monitored.
The solution lies just in the use of the right professionals. We have always been agitating and we have been advising that whoever government should insist that wherever any development, infrastructural development is going on, there must be the use of the appropriate professionals.
That there is need for synergy among the people in the built environment. There is also the regulatory aspect of it, the need for Nigeria to consciously increase, regulatory powers.
Building collapse prevention will be totally eradicated if the administration is better. That is why we have chosen to speak to this topic on this particular edition of the UG Jibrin Public Lecture.
With so much to take away from these professionals, the honoree and celebrant Umar Gambo Jibrin, while being happy with the organizers for recognizing his professional exploits and contributions, agrees with the expertise views and solutions to the thematic focus.
We try to look at what will impact on the development effort of the society and the requirement by our people. And that lack of full development of districts in Abuja is making it, difficult for the little infrastructure in the phases that have been done to be seen as being enough. That's why we have, breakages in sewer lines. You have water shortages because the districts that are supposed to be supplied have not been done.
Individuals of the celebrant in his accomplishments were recognized with an award of contributions and excellence. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
Pediatric Association of Nigeria, in commemoration with Children's Day, organized an art exhibition with the theme Nutrition at Cosmopolitan University Abuja to create more awareness on the need for a healthy combination during meal consumption, stressing the need for a good balanced diet. Aisha Bashir has more.
In commemoration of Children's Day, experts stress that nutrition is fundamental in the life of every child and serves as building blocks that brings out their potential, to which attention must be paid to.
I always say it that in Africa, we love children. We do. Let's show it by making sure that in every policy, in every decision, in every intervention, children should be considered on that table. Whoever is in the room, whoever is on the table, let the conversation include children.
Furthermore, Professor Ekure appeals to lawmakers to make children-related issues a topmost priority, while noting that love for children should be evident in policy decisions and in all interventions.
In this their growing age, they do things the way others do it.
That's the much we can take on the news at 1. It is to enable us join our outside broadcast crew for a live coverage. Good afternoon.